From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. Of course, at Tommy Mac's At My Bar, brought to our good friends at the Heritage Capital Group. We're talking ball, man. This is our Jaguars segment, and we got two of the best to talk with about it. Coach Dave Campo is back, and my friend Brian Mormon, longtime punter in the NFL who lives here in Jacksonville. Coach, how are you, my man?
I'm good, Tom.
Good to
how
see
you doing?
Brian? Good to have you, my man.
Great to
Finally
be
got you to come to the bar, buddy.
Yeah.
It's been a little while.
Yeah,
but good, good,
Love
good,
to be
good.
back more. Yeah.
All right, so we're not going to harp too much on the Bills not winning against our, because I know that's, you played a lot. How many years you played for them? Like
13,
8?
yeah.
All 13
All
with
13.
Buffalo.
I had 1 year in Dallas in
Okay.
between, and then I came back and finished in Buffalo. So it was nice to go home. Yeah,
Wow,
okay.
that was a tough loss. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, it's 25-20 with a chance to maybe win at the end. I mean, if I'm Buffalo, I'm not that upset over it. I'm Jacksonville, I'm ecstatic because I showed that, hey, we could beat one of the better teams in the NFC. How did you look at the game overall?
I think overall, very disappointing. Obviously, any loss is disappointing, but yeah, I mean, I think coming away from that, I think they are pretty upset about it. Obviously,
I would,
credit to the Jags. Obviously they fought hard and had a couple turnovers, overcame adversity. So
Sure.
I like this team here in Jacksonville, and it's living here now. 10 years after I retired, like I said, son growing up kind of a Jags fan, follow it, and it's fun to see them and what Doug's done to the team and how he's changed the culture around there, and talking to a lot of players, it's a good thing going over there, and it was while it was hard to see them beat my Bills, I'm happy for them for what's going on.
Absolutely, 3-2 coach now, right? 2-0 coming back from London. I think a lot of people thought we'd lose, not a lot, but people thought we'd beat Atlanta, lose to the Bills. We'll come back 2-0. It's important because of that AFC standing, right? If we get down to the wire, nitty-gritty, you do division first, right? And then you go, how did you do against your own conference? So
absolutely. And the interesting thing is, following the Jags like I have, if they play to their capabilities, and they can't turn the ball over twice, that's an anomaly.
Yep.
But if they play to their capabilities, I believe that they can play with anybody in the league. Period.
I agree with that.
Now, will they lose some? Will they win some? Absolutely.
Sure.
That's the league.
They could be right there. I agree with that.
And now this weekend is even bigger to me. You don't know what they're going to do against the Buffaloes and the San Franciscos and all that.
Right.
But your division, this is a huge ball game.
Absolutely.
A lot of two wins against them.
Yeah.
Because I think they're the other team in the league, in the division, that have a chance to win the thing. So it's going to be an interesting ball game, I'll tell you that.
I agree. And look, last time they didn't have Taylor and Minshew wasn't playing. Now Minshew comes back. How about that? Minshew, isn't it wild how the NFL works? Like, I don't think they always plan it, but it always seems like these kind of things happen. Like, guy goes back to his original team or something like that. You know what I mean? Or plays against somebody that he had a beef with or whatever. It's going to be a big. But this is a story inside the story.
It's going to be a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm going to be at the game this week, so it's going to be fun and be able to see the fans how they react. Obviously, you always wonder how they're going to react whenever they come from an opposing team. He was loved while he was here.
Yeah.
And
he's a gamer.
Yeah.
I mean, what's not to like?
And he's a winner.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of fear from a Jags fan, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's coming in here. He wants to prove something.
So, coach is a defensive coach. Now, you can't say both. Okay, that's not the option in this particular question. But as you defend Minshew, are you pressuring him, or are you going to stay off coverage and try to confuse him? What would you do from an overall scope?
I'd go after him a little bit, and I think that the advantage we have with the Jaguars is they don't have speed receivers.
Right.
So we can play man.
Yep.
So that means that you can pressure them a little bit, and we should be able to hang with their receivers, even though they've got, I'm not saying they don't have good receivers, because Pittman, I was at USC when Pittman was there. He's a player. But and Pierce has got speed, and Downs is coming along. But the biggest thing is if you don't have a lot of speed, you can lock up on guys, and I think that will be the difference, because if we're going to have to get some pressure on him to make him make the tough throws, because when you play zone, if you got a guy that can diagnose, there's openings and he can make some plays. And that guy is a quick decision maker.
He'll get it out.
Let me just finish with one thing on Minshew. I was at USC when he was at Washington State.
Oh.
And when he came into the league, I said, this guy is a guy that can make it in this league because he could go 1, 2, 3 on his decision making, and that's what concerns me a little bit more than Richardson. Even though I hate guys that can run, that.
Right.
But he doesn't. He can run a little bit, but he's not maneuverable. So that should be an advantage if we can get some pressure.
If you can get, I'm always for attacking. Like, go get him and let's see what he can do.
Right.
But the thing about Minshew is he can escape, and now he's not going to wow you with speed or size or arm strength, really. Yeah. But he's a gamer. He'll find a way to get that ball out. So you got to be careful while you rush him.
I think that's the thing. If he escapes and then he's finding somebody that comes back to him or gets open, goes into some space and breaks off a route, something like that. That's gonna be big. And then you brought up too. I mean, how does Taylor factor into that? If they get the run game going, that changes a lot too. Yeah.
They're good against the run, and I think they've been good. But there's been times it's been a little shaky. They can't have Jonathan Taylor could ruin your day. He could ruin your day if he has a big day from the running, and that's only going to help Minshew out with a good running.
And Zach Moss is, he's playing pretty good. I think the other thing that sticks out with this football team is that a year ago they had a bunch of big plays against them in the running game.
Yeah.
Because of the linebackers weren't fitting properly, and there was some things there. Our linebackers right now are fitting pretty good, and as long as we fit all right, we're okay. Yeah. But the big runs come when the guy's not in the right spot, and I think our linebackers are better in that area.
I was always taught if you're gonna not be in your gap, make the play.
Right. Exactly.
If not in your gap.
Now the really good ones cannot be in the gap and make plays, but that's not the majority in the league.
Right. I also don't like the I control my gap. Well, that's not totally the job. You got to control your gap to the ball.
Right.
Just because you're in your gap doesn't mean the ball's over here. Get over there and make something happen. So how are we feeling? You feeling victory? Hometown crowd? I mean, look, the fan base should be rocking. Again, I don't think a lot of people thought 2-0. I did pick them to win the Bills. I just had a feeling like they'd beat the Bills, but whatever. That's not because it's any kind of genius, assessment per se, but should be a rocking crowd. You got to beat the Colts for a sweep. Be nice to do that. You think they win this week, Coach?
I believe they win. I think they've got the better roster.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't always equate to a win, but I will say this team has a tendency to rise, as the season goes on. And I think they know, coming off the Houston loss, how big this is.
Yeah. Maybe they learned something from this.
They had to have, and if they play complementary football, which I believe they can do, this will probably be a 24-17, 24-20, somewhere in that neighborhood, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Minshew too. Like, he can get on a tear. Like, you gotta be careful of that.
Yeah.
And what did Stroud do? Stroud picked us apart from Houston. And that was the last time we were home, and it wasn't good.
He did.
And then they felt like they had to get out of town and go to London for
which was a good move.
It ended up being a good move. How about you, Brian? You think they win against the Colts?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say special teams is going to be important.
Ooh,
field position.
Agnew. We need a
field
return.
position. Yeah, we need returns. Yeah. We need to flip the field here and there. I think the Colts are going to come in here ready to play. Yeah. But I do like what the Jags did on the road, and I think it's going to be Jags by 3.
We can't do virtual reality here, but I want you to take us inside, right? So you talked about flipping the field.
Yeah.
You're Brian Mormon or you're Logan Cook, and your feet are at the end line, back of the end line, back of the end zone, and you got to get that ball out.
I loved that punt.
Did you like that moment? Yeah. What's that like, Brian? I mean, they're coming.
Yeah.
They're coming. The focus, you got to be so ultra focused to get the ball off, not just get it off, but kick it a mile so you can flip that field. What is it like to do that?
Just lower the heart rate and go out there and do what you do. It's just keep your form, keep your technique. Logan's got a cannon. He's so smooth. He looks effortless. Yep. And for me, I love being back there. It's just keep your steps short and hit it.
Because you can't move back at all.
You can't move back, and you can't move forward either. Yep. Those guys are going to be bull rushing and trying to hit the guys into your lap.
When you're back there, whether you're back against the wall or not, as a punter, do you have to mentally be like, okay, they're coming on every, like, do you have to assume they're coming every, you know what I mean? Can you ever read like, okay, I can tell they're not coming this time? Is there any of that?
Yeah, if they're going to bring them all in,
you
obviously know you're getting it off
what
quick.
If they don't? What if there's
I think, you keep everything the same. We have get-off times that we want to hit. We want to get it off between, I was usually 116 to 128. My best kicks were probably around 125, and when I say that, that's hand to foot. When I catch the ball and then it hits my foot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you're working on, making sure what your overall get-off time is. So
you think they just go out there and punt?
Yeah. Well, no, I know they don't. I think the general people might think that, but
you have a score for the game?
Yeah, I think Jags by 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
high score, low score. What do you think?
I'm thinking 27-24, somewhere around that range. Yeah,
okay, good one. I like that. I think they're going to be back in the 30s. We scored 31 last time.
Yeah.
And although it was 31, it wasn't a pretty 31.
No,
it was a little sloppy 31. Which after the game, we're all like, they had a sloppy 31. Like, come on, this is a good team.
Kind of like the Bills,
right?
This week.
Right. Had a sloppy.
We played lousy and scored 30.
Right. Yeah, and still scored. Well, 20 anyway, but still, that was big. They made a game out of it and had a chance to win it too.
Yes.
Right. So I think they're going to win too, but I'm going to say they're 33-21. I think they hold the same. I think it's a pretty good.
There, pretty good.
And I do think the Colts are tough. I think they've got a good team, but I also think, and they got a good defense. That front, DeForest Buckner's no joke. That guy can wreck a game.
That's my concern there, because I think their defense. I felt that their defensive front was better than Kansas City's when we played them.
I
after the first game, I said that. And I still believe that.
Let me wrap it up with this, Coach. Trevor got hit way too much last week. You walk into the offensive line meeting on Monday morning. How does it start? Just curious. Are you slamming something?
You guys realize who's back there?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Like,
come on, let's go.
Way too much.
And hopefully it was a little bit of a rookie right tackle and a guy coming off of suspension with only 2 weeks of practice. I'm hopeful that that's going to improve, and I think losing Little is a little bit of a problem.
It is, I agree.
Shatley's does okay, but
does fine.
But he's not the guy.
Cam's got to be better than last. We went all on Cam, but he's got to be a little bit better.
Absolutely.
That number 57, AJ Ebenezer,
he's
great game.
Well.
He did.
An awesome game.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that you got to protect the goods, man.
Keep him up.
He's like your younger brother. Nobody beats up the younger brother.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's like that's how you defend your family. Like
that's it.
He's got to be looked at like that. Fellas, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. Go Jags. Who are the Bills got? Who they got?
Giants.
Oh, they're going to kick.
Well, they're going to whip the Giants' butt. Don't even worry about it.
All right, that'll do it for us here on the Horse's Mouth. Always love talking ball, whether it's our Jags, the Bills, whoever, the NFL. We'll talk ball all day long right here at the bar. So until next time, y'all stay safe out there and be cool. And we'll see you right here on the Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
The team at Heritage Capital Group is special because it's a collection of people across the spectrum.
We have people who have been in the shoes of owners that are looking to buy and sell, and professionals that have executed transactions helping buy and sell companies for decades.
I think when you talk to us, see what our experience is, see what our skills are, see the reach that we have, you'll be very happy with the recommendation.